Issue 3 of our wrestling magazine will feature our list of the 100 greatest wrestlers ever, and we're counting on your vote. Either fill in and send us the top 10 poll card in the front of issue 2, or follow the link in the description. But your votes aren't the only ones that count, you selfish, entitled vultures. The WCPW roster and WhatCulture YouTube personalities have also submitted their lists, and here is mine. I'm Jack from WhatCulture.com, and here are my 10 favourite wrestlers ever. Number 10, Chris Jericho. It was clear from the beginning that WWF were putting a lot of faith into Chris Jericho. His explosive 1999 debut segment was perhaps the greatest debut in the history of the promotion, cutting off The Rock, of all people, mid-sentence. It established Y2J as an obnoxious, insecure, brilliant force to be reckoned with. Thankfully, the self-styled Ayatollah of rock and roller had more than enough ability to build on such a great start, combining fast-paced action with an excellent technical game, a unique style honed in Japan, Mexico, and ECW. Jericho shot to prominence in short order, winning the WWE Undisputed Championship just 2 years after his debut. In the future, however, the Canadian will probably be remembered far more for his persona, or should that be personas. More than capable of being a cocky, lovable babyface, his true greatness shines through as a bad guy. His WCW promos are the stuff of YouTube legend if you can seek them out, from listing the 1004 holds he's mastered to getting lost on the way to the ring, Spinal Tap style. He's also reinvented himself throughout his career, from egotistical rock star to sinister suit to his current stupid idiot-hating incarnation. Also, and most importantly of all, he does that cool noise before he hits someone, that hoo, like, you know, the hoo, hoo. And I quite like that. Number 9, Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, I know I'm, a youngster and I don't really appreciate old school wrestling as much as I probably should, but there is still much to love and admire about WWE's golden age. I think we'd all admit that the in-ring style can be a little hard to adjust to at times. I watched WrestleMania 1 in full for the first time last week, and oh, it's a slog. It's hard to adjust because everything's generally slower and, dare I say, a little bit clunkier as well in the ring. With that being said, nobody can fault the storytelling, character work, and general fervour surrounding the industry at the time. Macho Man Randy Savage is a figure that completely encapsulates such a time, but he's also a figure that innovated as well. To this day, when wrestling's parodied in some sort of skit or TV series or YouTube video, the general archetype lampoon sounds like one of two men, Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage. He is a man inexorably linked to the essence of pro wrestling. Now, remember what I was saying just now about 80s wrestling being a little difficult to adjust to through modern eyes? Forget all that. I was talking complete bullshit because Macho Man was frighteningly ahead of his time. His match with Ricky Steamboat is regarded as one of the best WrestleMania bouts ever, and his feuds with Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Ultimate Warrior are all lovingly remembered as some of the greatest storylines of the era. As I said, the main reason I've included Savage ahead of so many of his great peers is mainly due to his status as an innovator. He, more than any other Golden Age main eventer, could be transported into a modern day match and instantly find his feet. A true great. Number 8, The Rock. For some reason, there seems to be some sort of semi-popular opinion that The Rock was a weak in-ring worker. I mean, sure, he's no Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart, but from my point of view, the Brahma Bull fully deserves his electrifying reputation. His babyface run at the turn of the century led to a great string of matches with Triple H, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and many others, as well as that clash with Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17, widely thought by many, including myself, to be the best WWE match of all time. Prior to all of this as well, he was an immense heel. Just try watching his infamous I Quit match with Mankind without wincing just a little bit. Some of those chair shots are nasty. Nobody questions The Rock's mic work, of course. How could they? Dwayne Johnson is arguably the most charismatic man to ever pick up a wrestling microphone, speaking with that thrilling, unmistakable cadence, switching between intense and hilarious without a moment's notice. In hindsight, it would have been a surprise had Rocky not reached the heights he did. His look, wit, and ability to manipulate a crowd's emotions are second to none, making him not only the prime example of a sports entertainment style superstar, but in my opinion, a damn good professional wrestler as well. Number 7, Bret Hart. Now, you could argue that The Rock, although being one of the most charismatic men in the history of wrestling, kind of lags behind a little bit on this list in terms of pure in-ring action. Bret Hart is the very opposite. Of everyone on this list, Bret could feasibly be regarded as the weakest on the mic. At the tail end of his WWF run, the Hitman's promos reached a quite decent peak, his sort of anti-American, pro-Canadian shtick, but talking was always regarded as the most limited part of his game. In the end, this is a little bit irrelevant though, because inside the ropes, Bret was incredible. A man good enough to drag his promotion out of its post-Golden Age slump and into the new generation, even if it took Vince McMahon and the rest of the office a little while longer to realise than the fans. As well as his striking appearance and iconic theme music, the Canadian is also one for the purists, a real technician's technician. Few have demonstrated such flawless expertise in the ring as timeless classics with Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, the British Bulldog, and brother Owen Hart prove. So yes, as I mentioned, Bret can be regarded as maybe slightly weak on the microphone, but on the other hand, he's one of those men that quietly went about his business, and in his case, that business just happened to be being one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Number 6, Triple H. This one's purely personal. Triple H may have taken steps to rebuild his reputation in in recent years thanks to the rapid progression of WWE's recruitment, the consistent excellence of NXT, and the exciting new Cruiserweight Classic. However, that doesn't change the fact that for the better part of the decade, he was a bit of a bastard, wasn't he? His name was synonymous with the burial of deserving talent for his own personal gain. Chris Jericho, Booker T, CM Punk, and many, many more were denied that big win over the game, a win that could have pushed their careers to even greater heights. However, I didn't know anything about backstage politics like that when I first became a wrestling fan in 2000, when I was only 7 years old. Or, as Adam Blompier would probably have you believe, minus 18 years old. He's a funny f***er, isn't he? He's really funny. All I knew when I was first a wrestling fan was that Triple H was my favourite. I'm not quite sure why. I think I used to pick him quite a lot on the Nintendo 64 games. I think I thought his hair was cool. It might have also had something to do with the fact that all the popular sort of funny lads who were good at football all enjoyed The Rock and Steve Austin, so I thought, well, I'll pick, the one that goes against them. But I'm sure that's not too big a factor, except it almost entirely makes up 100% of the reason that I used to love Triple H, but never mind. From a more mature standpoint, I now recognise Triple H as a true student of the game. He's sort of like Ric Flair and Harley Race rolled into one in the modern age, and of all the comparisons you can make, that one's pretty damn flattering, to be honest. However, my appreciation of Triple H goes all the way back to childhood, and as such is far simpler sometimes. There was and is something innately cool about Triple H. Wrestling can clad itself in as many bells and whistles as it wants. Sometimes a more effective tactic than a 5-star match or a great story is to just send out a huge barbarian dude in a leather jacket and just have him pedigree Roman Reigns while Motorhead plays in the background. Number 5. Oh, might get a bit of abuse for this one, but it's CM Punk. Triple H was the man that got me into wrestling, but also, along with John Cena, the man that pushed me away. It's just not fun seeing the same two guys win and win and win and win and win and win and win. It also might have had something to do with the fact that I hit puberty, and in high school, girls don't really think wrestling's that cool, and neither do a lot of the boys, and it was just like hard to maintain good social life while also marking out for someone like Randy Orton. So I kind of fell out of love with wrestling a bit. CM Punk was the man that dragged me right back in. His inclusion this high on the list may seem dubious, especially for a man whose peak was so brief and recent, but the Chicago native genuinely did do enough in such a short space of time to become an all-time favourite of mine. Those unfamiliar with his work on the independent scene should really check it out, because I didn't have as deep an appreciation for Punk as a wrestler until I'd seen him clash with Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, and of course his former close personal friend Colt Cabana. The man is considered a Ring of Honor legend for a reason. Beyond that, however, we will always have the summer of 2011. Without that angle, the infamous pipe bomb promo, the victory over Cena, and the lengthy title reign that followed a little while after, WWE would be nowhere near as progressive and enthralling a place as it is now. Daniel Bryan would never have triumphed at WrestleMania 30, the Shield wouldn't have captured our imaginations, and there would have been no new era without CM Punk. Also, he's just really, really cool on the microphone, and you can't really argue with that. Number 4, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a bit of an oddity on this list in that he's great at just about everything. He's a phenomenal wrestler, he's a brilliant mic worker capable of both frightening intensity and hilarious self-deprecation. He's probably the finest in-ring technician of the 21st century. He's got the most gorgeous moonsault in the world. He's an Olympic gold medalist. It says a lot that within about a year, Kurt Angle had already scooped the Intercontinental, European, and WWF championships. Vince McMahon is often criticised for failing to spot unique talent when it's right under his nose, but he hit the nail on the head with this one, singling Angle out for greatness, and Angle delivered. The most telling thing about the Olympic hero is the sheer variety of opponents he's been able to have astonishing feuds with, a list including Brock Lesnar, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, Samoa Joe, and Triple H. The word versatile doesn't begin to cover it. Number 3, Eddie Guerrero. Of all the wrestlers on this list, the one that I just purely most enjoy watching wrestle, perform moves and tell a story inside the ring, is Eddie Guerrero by far. Those who die young often have their reputations enhanced by the brevity of their time in the public eye, but I think that Eddie would still be regarded as an absolute legend were he alive today. Few have ever been able to navigate a ring with such grace and panache. Esteemed peers such as Chris Jericho and CM Punk, yes, he wrestled CM Punk in IWA Mid-South in 2002, have talked at their astonishment of just how good Eddie was, and they're right to do so. In terms of persona as well, it's widely accepted that getting a crowd to love you is harder than getting them to hate you. Just scan the comments section of any one of my videos. But charming a crowd and making them really love you, that takes something special, and nobody charmed the WWE audience quite like Eddie Guerrero. The sheer outpouring of affection that was seen when he finally defeated Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship was one of the most genuinely happy moments in WWE history, and the high point of an amazing career cut so tragically short. Number 2, Shawn Michaels. There's a reason Shawn Michaels is regarded as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and the only way to really understand that is to watch him in action. Despite his relative lack of size, and the fact that he started out in an age of giants, performance. Have you ever seen a more natural professional wrestler? Like Eddie Guerrero, HBK just had this certain knack of just making it look easy. He was an expert in the art of selling, maybe the greatest seller of all time, but never actually seemed in trouble in terms of his performance. Rarely, if ever, did he make a mistake. There's a common saying that brilliant wrestlers could have a great match with a broomstick, and Michaels is the poster boy of such a notion. When paired with similarly capable opponents, sparks are certain to fly, as proven by his bouts with Undertaker, Razor Ramon, Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, just countless others. Some people are born to be a pro wrestler, and HBK is absolutely one of them. He's taken part in 4 Wrestling Observer newsletter matches of the year, and 3 of those were after his 40th birthday. It boggles the mind. And number 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin. What is there to say about Steve Austin that hasn't been said before? Quite simply, Stone Cold is my favourite wrestler of all time because I can't separate him from that little surge of excitement we've all experienced as wrestling fans. Whether it's hearing his entrance music or seeing him deliver a surprising stunner on somebody, or whether it's towards the end of a massively epic match such as the one he had with The Rock or the one he had with Bret Hart, Austin brings this sort of raw, undiluted energy and joy to the squared circle. It almost wasn't that way at all, as the Rattlesnake found himself cast into the wilderness by WCW earlier in his career. His saviour came in the form of Paul Heyman, who gave Austin a platform on which to air his grievances throughout his brief stint in ECW. WWF finally beckoned, Stone Cold delivered that famous line at King of the Ring 96, and the rest, as they say, is history. To deny Austin a place at the top of my list would go against my opinion that, at the end of the day, being a pro wrestling fan is largely about escapism and fun, and that particular man delivered both in absolute spades. So that's my list of the top 10 favourite wrestlers of all time. I'm so sorry that I didn't mention the Yeti, but come on, let's be f***ing serious for a minute. I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out issue 3 of Wrestling, which will see our list of the 100 greatest wrestlers of all time, and don't forget to vote in that poll by either filling out the form in the front of issue 2 or following the link in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_the_jobber. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Do you want to see WCPW live but are allergic to the awful people of Newcastle? WCPW is coming to Greater Manchester on Saturday the 8th of October to the Altrincham Silver Blades Arena. Your ticket won't just get you a stat card featuring Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle, but will also grant you access to our first ever fan convention during the day. Meet the WhatCulture guys, have photos with your favourite WCPW wrestlers, a host of other surprises, and VIP members will get to meet Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes in person. Tickets can be bought at wc.pw.